Okay, it says it's starting live video. I'm just coming on live. It's Active Aging Week, and I wanted to take the opportunity to encourage people, whether you feel like you're aging yet or not. It's never too early to plan ahead, and it's actually never too late to improve your fitness, as we'll hear this week. So I hope you'll join me. I'll just wait a minute to make sure everything's set up. I don't actually see anything having started on my page over here. I'm going to refresh it and make sure that I am live. It's 4 o'clock, so I'll just wait a minute here. My name's Cindy, and most of you know me well and know that I'm a health and fitness coach. I've been a certified personal trainer for just 4 years, but have been involved in the fitness industry most of my adult life. And I have a background in nutrition. I studied exercise sciences. I taught at a couple of colleges for a while, and then after raising kids wanted to get back into working with people one-on-one again. So became a personal trainer, and now, because of COVID, have decided that I'm going to specialize and focus on helping women specifically who are kind of entering that stage and later where it gets very difficult to maintain weight, lose weight, just maintain our muscle mass. And so kind of the age range between 50 and 60, and yet menopause starts sooner than that. So I'm kind of, aiming to help women through menopause, because that compounds with the effects of aging, just to make everything so much more difficult to maintain our strength, bone density, and our weight and body fat. So yeah, so anyway, I think that I will try and get started here. If you're here with me, just send me one of the little likes or something, and I'll see it and know that you're here. But I will get started because a lot of people will hopefully listen to the replay. And hopefully you will be somewhat encouraged through this week to become a little more active, regardless of what age you're at. Whether you're young and healthy and can do a lot, you might just sit around too much. And maybe you feel like it's too late for you. It's never too late. So it's difficult when you're not used to doing something to form a new habit. That's always the hardest part, but it is definitely to your benefit. And today I'm going to be talking about some of the benefits. So as I mentioned, my name's Cindy. Just some personal info. I'm married for 38 years and to the same person. Yay! We have 4 kids, 3 grown boys, and a daughter in grade 12. And yes, I got married really, really young. So, as I said, I want to take the opportunity to do what I love, and that sharing information I think is really important and useful and can help people live longer, healthier, happier lives. So, I'm going to be reading a little bit under my, on the computer screen just below my camera. So, I want you to think for a minute. It's Active Aging Week. What do you think when I say active aging? What does active aging look like for you? Can you visualize yourself that way? I visualize a woman who is hiking in the mountains on a beautiful day. What do you enjoy, or have you enjoyed in the past? Can you visualize yourself doing that at age 60, 70, 80? Keep your sights set on that. The International Council on Active Aging wanted to celebrate how positive the process of aging can be. Active Aging Week encourages adults over the age of 50 to take advantage of all that life has to offer. The goal is to promote wellness in all aspects, not just physical, but emotional, intellectual, spiritual, social, everything, and to get our bodies up and moving. So, did you know that only 1 in 5 adults in Canada get the minimum 150 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity each week, which is recommended by Canadian Physical Activity Guidelines. So that's a bare minimum. So that's like 30 minutes 5 days a week for a total of 2.5 hours a week. These guidelines also recommend adults work on building their strength at least twice a week, plus include some balance and flexibility exercises. In fact, 300 minutes a week is what's really recommended for adults to get better health and fitness benefits and longer life. The minimum is really just a minimum to stay healthy. So, 1 in 5. Are you part of the 1 in 5? Why are so few adults not even getting a minimum of 2.5 hours of physical activity each week? Do they not know the benefits? They probably do. There are so many benefits to physical activity, including an association with having a longer, healthier life. Now, who doesn't want that? So, I know you know the benefits, but let's review what we know, because it's always a good reminder and it may be motivating. So, exercise helps us lose and control weight. Exercise strengthens the cardiovascular system, improves circulation, which helps decrease blood pressure and the risk of coronary heart disease. Practically speaking, it makes us able to do more and do it more easily. People who exercise enjoy an improved immune system and the reduced incidence of colon and breast cancer, as well as diabetes and stress-related diseases. Exercise helps control appetite and increases our energy levels. Exercise strengthens our muscles, bones, joints, and improves our flexibility. This helps reduce the risk of osteoporosis, improves joint mobility, reducing stiffness in the joint and arthritic pain, and reduces our risk of injury and chronic pain. Exercise also improves balance and coordination, posture, stability. It helps us feel better about ourselves, is an effective and healthy way to reduce stress, anxiety, and depression, even dementia and other mental health issues. It increases self-esteem, confidence, and motivation. Exercise has an all-encompassing effect on the body, physically, mentally, and emotionally. In other words, exercise is just plain good for you. And inactivity is not. As we age, it becomes more and more important to keep our bodies moving. Inactivity and aging compound to create a steady decline in our body. In fact, our bodies start losing muscle mass at age, can you guess? Age 20. In that short time span, what we think of as short, between 0 to 20 is building, but if we don't do something to maintain it, it starts to decline. So imagine by the time you get to be an older person, if you haven't done anything to maintain your muscle mass or your bone mass or control your weight, what shape will you be in? We'll talk more about this on Friday when I talk about body fat and increasing our metabolism, but the process of muscle loss is called sarcopenia, and it's basically the wasting away of our muscle mass, and we lose our strength and tone, and our limbs become more thin and flabby. We need to do something to maintain and grow that muscle, which can be done even at an older age. So, when is the last time you made regular physical exercise an important part of your everyday life? I hope you said, I always do. That would be great. But with all the significant benefits of exercise, why do you think only 1 in 5 adults get the bare minimum amount for maintaining a healthy lifestyle? There's lots of reasons or excuses. 1, I don't have time. You don't need to invest a lot of time every day, and it doesn't have to be all in one big chunk. You can split your 150 minutes, or better yet, your 300 minutes a week, up any way you want in the week. So if you can get in a longer piece of time a few times a week, like 60 minutes of good activity 3 times a week, that's great. But if you're not accustomed to taking time for physical activity, then carving out a chunk of time may seem overwhelming. Start small and build up. Even 10 minutes at a time add up. Do you have 30 minutes a day that you can divert to moving more? And an important point, what gets scheduled gets done. So if you put it on your calendar, you make it a part of your to-do list, you'll have a better chance of getting it done. Another reason people have of saying or not exercising regularly is getting out of their comfort zone. They don't find it comfortable, or they have a lack of interest. So if someone isn't used to being active on a regular basis, change means stepping out of their comfort zone, and doing something different isn't easy. It takes 21 days to form a new habit, and even then, that can get derailed easily if something interferes. We need to find something we can get interested in and fit it into our schedule and lifestyle. We all know January is a big month for people starting new habits or, starting resolutions, saying they have resolutions. Big month for people buying gym memberships, but after the first month or two, many don't continue to go. And many of those resolutions have fallen by the wayside before the end of January. Why? Well, maybe it wasn't realistic. Maybe it was too far out of their comfort zone. Maybe it didn't fit into their lifestyle. It's not something they enjoy or find easy enough to fit into their lifestyle. People won't do it. Some people enjoy being with other people in the gym or otherwise, and some people don't. And you don't have to. You can set up a small space in your home, which many people have had to do lately. And if you have your space, your shoes, a few pieces of equipment, which might be tin cans from your pantry or a jug filled with water, and a scheduled time to exercise, it will be a lot easier to do it. I'm not saying it will be easy. It never is, not even for me. We just have to tell ourselves it's important. Hi Laura, hi Tara, I'm glad you're joining me. We have to tell ourselves it's important, make it a priority to take care of yourself, myself, and then make it as easy as possible for ourselves to be able to do it. The things we don't want to do, we have to make difficult. The things we want to do, we have to make it easier to do. And having these things set out where we see them, even you trip over them. If you're a morning person, that's great. I am not. But I've heard of people putting their shoes by the side of the bed so they basically trip over them in the morning. They can't miss it. That's their cue. We need to have cues to do the things we need to do and plan on them and make them enjoyable in some way. How can you make it enjoyable? I like music. Play some fun music. For me, that's enjoyable. You could listen to a podcast. You could do all kinds of things while you're exercising if you're exercising at home. Or if you can get out, you can go out and do it with a group if you're comfortable with that. There's some small groups happening already. So tomorrow and the next day, I'll be talking more about indoor options for cardio and strength exercise. Another reason people don't exercise is the weather. So soon you may find yourself starting to cocoon in the house more and sitting around more. As the weather changes, it's less appealing to spend time outside, especially if it's cold and windy, and it could even be difficult to go for a walk if it gets icy where you are. But inactivity is harmful, and sitting around too much leads to a lot of other unhealthy habits. So getting some exercise helps us stay motivated to take care of our bodies in other ways too. We need to find ways to keep moving even when we don't feel like it. So again, I recommend setting up an indoor space. It could be just a place in your living room or wherever's good for you. You just need a mat or a towel on the floor. I recommend shoes. Now, hi Danica. Danica's watching now too. Okay, so set up a space so it's there and it's not as difficult to do it. Okay, so another reason that's a little more difficult, people don't exercise because of pain or mobility restrictions, especially in the hip, the knee, or the feet. There's usually an option to work around these issues, but you need to speak to your doctor about what you can do. But when you find out what you can do, then you need to do it. Did you know that you can even get a decent workout sitting in a chair? And I might show you a few things tomorrow with that. So if your feet aren't working, your knees aren't good, do some chair exercises. An activity can reduce some of the pain we have that holds us back. You might need to invest in a stationary bike or a rowing machine, but check your options. There's usually always a way. Our bodies need to keep moving to be healthy. It's important to do whatever we can. So today, if you are not part of the 1 in 5 adults getting the minimum amount of exercise you need each week, I want you to think about what holds you back from doing that. Is it one of the reasons I mentioned, or is it something else? Let me know in the comments. And second, make a plan for how you can schedule at least 30 minutes of physical activity into your day, at least 5 times this week. Can you do that? 30 minutes, 5 times. And it doesn't have to be 30 minutes all at once. You can even break it up. If you're already getting your 2.5 hours of physical activity each week, are you getting 300? That's the real goal for bettering your health. What can you do to reach this goal? That's 60 minutes, 5 days a week, or less than 45 minutes if you're doing it every day. And what happens every day becomes a regular routine and much easier to remember and get done. Maybe it's the strength exercises and stretching you need to spend more time on. Spend a few minutes making your plan to improve your activity level this week. Okay. And Tara says physio helps to let you know what you can do and can't. So that's good too. Yes. Listen to your physiotherapist. Okay, so do you think you can do that somehow? 30 minutes, 5 days a week? Or if you're already doing that, up it to 60 minutes or anywhere in between? Are you on board? I hope so. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to try it. Can you add a few more minutes of exercise to your week this week? The rest of this week I'm going to come back every day to talk about another aspect of activity and how important it is, what hinders us from getting it done, and how we might overcome those issues. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about cardiovascular activity. The benefits are long, the options are endless. But what can you do at home? That's the challenge. But it is possible. And the rest of the week, I'm going to talk about strength, and then mobility and flexibility. And by Friday, I'll be talking about metabolism and body fat and weight control. So for now, just keep moving. And I'll see you tomorrow, same time. Thanks for joining me today. Bye.